switchboard, electrical switchboard. Whenever there is some problem in the connection, you are going to remove the screws so that the board can be opened, and wherever wires are having some problem, the power supply is having some problem, the switches are having some problem, these can be very simply taken out and the problem can be rectified, and again the board is fixed with the help of the screws. This is one way. And if you look at an automobile engine requires servicing in a frequent interval. Let us say every 10,000 kilometers, every 20,000 kilometers, you are going to go for a service center where they are going to change the engine oil, they are going to change the brake oil, like that. In order to change the engine oil or brake oil, they have to remove certain screw. After removing that screw, the oil is capped, used oil is capped and it is drained, and again the screw is fitted, fresh oil is poured from the top, and that is used for another 5,000 kilometers or 10,000 kilometers depending upon the type of vehicle we are using. It may be two-wheeler, 2,000 kilometers roughly. If you are using a car, a petrol car, maybe 5,000 kilometers, a diesel car maybe for 10,000 kilometers, you are going to change the engine oil. So there you are going to use the screw joints, rivets, welding. These comes under the category called permanent. That means once you do the riveting or welding, if you want to detach the two things, you have to damage something. Here, after forming the head, if you want to separate these two plates, either you have to break the upper portion or the lower portion. While breaking that, the adjacent portion of the plate is also liable to get damaged. That means there might be some damage to the thing. That is why it is known as permanent. Similarly, welding. You have fillet welded or parallel fillet welded or transverse fillet welded. In order to separate them, you need to break this welding. So that's why the riveting joints or welded joints are known as permanent joints. The permanent means in order to separate them, you need to damage something. And whereas the screw joints are called temporary joints. Temporary means as and when if you want to remove them, you can remove, and you want to attach them, you can attach. You can disassembly or you can assembly them as and when it is required. That's why it is known as temporary. The things related to rivets, welding and screw joints are discussed at length in the unit number 3. These are all comes under the fasteners category. Now, we move to the unit number 4. In the unit 4, we have shafts, couplings, keys. A shaft is, as we have already discussed in the class 1 as well as at the beginning of the class 2, a shaft is a member which is used to transmit the power and torque by rotation. So it is going to transmit the power by rotation. It may be taking power from some source, let us say a motor or an engine, and it is giving it to some machine. From electric motor or from an IC engine, it is going to take on one side and it is giving on the other side to a machine. So then it is known as a shaft. The shafts are subjected to two kinds of stresses. One, because it is rotated and transmitting, it is subjected to torsional shear stress. And second one is it is subjected to bending stress, because a shaft has to be supported at one end or at both ends. If it is supported at one end, it is analogous to the cantilever beam. If this is supported at both ends, then this is analogous to the simply supported beam. Whether it is simply supported beam or cantilever beam, this will be subjected to bending moment. If it is a cantilever beam, the maximum bending moment occurs at the fixed end. If it is simply supported beam, the maximum bending moment occurs at the midpoint. So therefore, depending upon the type of the beam which is analogous or the nature of the load and magnitude of the load, there will be some maximum bending moment. From the maximum bending moment, you can find out the bending stress. This is subjected to bending and torsion. So bending stress, torsion, torsional shear stress. So these two are applied on the member due to the nature. So what is the nature? The nature of the shaft is to transmit the torque and power, and how it is supported. It may be supported at one end or it may be supported at both ends. Therefore, that results in the bending stress. The combination of these two, the bending and torsional shear, are used to find out the dimensions of the shaft. The design of the shaft is determined from the two things. One is the bending stress and another one is the torsional shear stress. So these two are combined in either equivalent twisting moment method or equivalent bending moment method. The equivalent twisting moment method is coming from the theories of elastic failures, maximum shear stress theory. This comes from maximum shear stress theory, whereas this comes from maximum normal stress theory. So depending upon whether you are using the maximum shear stress theory or maximum normal stress theory, we are going to use the equivalent twisting moment or equivalent bending moment, which is the combination of the bending